Hi guys, it's me, Justin here again, and for this video, I shall be talking about one of the very few reality shows that I actually enjoyed quite a bit. Now, I will go on record to say that I detest reality TV shows in general. Things like Keeping Up with the Kardashians, you know, the dating shows that make no sense once everything is done with, and I just don't enjoy the show at all. But some of the few that I actually enjoy revolve around the business, like say the pawn shop shows or the pickers is also kind of interesting, as well as storage and shipping wars too. I generally enjoy shipping wars more than the other ones because you get to see a bunch of different parts of this country and stuff. There's big expanse and everything. Plus, I like I forgot his name right now, but he's a tough, gruff guy that's more serious and all that. I think they used to travel around the country with his cat. So, there was that. Yeah, I like cats too. I have one too. And, he actually, believe it or not, he actually reminded me of an old pediatrician. God rest his soul. But in any case, being that it's the middle of winter and we're in the middle, it's expected to get a nice snowstorm, even though we just had one yesterday. I decided to talk about an old favorite of mine, which I haven't seen the new season of, unfortunately, and that'd be Ice Road Truckers. Now, we all know that I love trucking in general, big rigs and all that stuff. But, yeah, unfortunately, game makers have missed a valuable opportunity in my mind, because most of the courses that you see in racing video games, like for big trucks and big rigs and etc., they usually don't include many winter levels, which is unfortunate because this show is based on Ice Road Truckers, of course, but they're set in the dead center of Canada in a little town called Yellowknife. Yellowknife. And it's actually pretty fascinating the way these people deliver their cargo across the country. I'm not sure if they go in the United States or Alaska, but for the territory they do go into, it's very rugged, very unforgiving. Many of them can lose their lives, and they cannot lose the cargo and the trucks too. So that's a very important thing. Keep in mind that there is risk involved in doing this show, and that there are very big rewards too. And it's also very nice to see all the people all happy and stuff that they get their cargo, because most of the time, whenever they deliver these big giant loads, like these oversized loads and whatnot, they usually deliver like important life-saving equipment or important food delivery, because up there up north, it's very, very difficult for them to receive cargo important life-saving materials that only come around like once every month or so. Sometimes even rarer than that. So this is such a kind of important thing that people are doing. I don't know how much of the importance it is on the racing aspect of it, because there is like a little competition among the 5 or 6 different drivers, deliver a certain amount of loads over the other person, over the other people. So I don't know if they get like a reward of like $10,000 from the TV show that they get if they deliver like X amount of loads over somebody else, or if they get like a $10,000 bonus if they do it like more than everybody else, for that matter. I'm sure they're probably betting competitions at the, how many more so and so to get over such and such person, and what cargo, or maybe even better than that, what time they can deliver it, like within a day or within 3 days of the actual starting point. But all this takes place in the very coldest winter time up there in Saskatchewan, Ontario, Quebec, and like in Manitoba, I believe too. That's like more in the central Canada region, the middle 3 or 4 provinces of Canada. So anyway, now when I say cold weather, I mean like extremely cold weather compared to us, compared to the United States, because their winters make our winter look like beach weather. Well, I can't say much for places like say Chicago or Minnesota, or Montana, because I never been there, but I can imagine that they would get pretty cold, but because Canada is a little bit north of them, the States, that it's that much more colder in the plains. But anyway, when I talk about cold weather, I'm talking about like December to February, so it's like a 3 or 4 month run, and it gets so cold up there that the lakes, 1,500 or so lakes in Canada, end up freezing over solid to the point where big trucks and big heavy vehicles can drive on the ice with no problem, with a few restrictions on it too, that can't stay idle on the car with the vehicle, for a certain amount of time, because you might fall through the lake ice, therefore becoming a popsicle like Crash Bandicoot, or say no going over a certain speed limit, because as the very active show on there, they have like a CGI animation of what happens when 2 trucks come at each other, like they pass each other, and then the waves from underneath the ice, the water push through the ice, and then can sink both of the vehicles, the tractor and trailer. So it's kind of risky on that. But if they go into open ocean and you drive on the ocean water, the same way, they can easily speed up. They can go buck wild for all they can, because there are no safety regulations, and it's that nature so they can do whatever they want. They can do whatever speed they want. It's actually pretty cool the way they do that. But also another thing I should point out is that whenever they have tractors on the ice, they always show like an underwater camera of what the truck looks like passing overhead through the foot thick or the 2 feet thick of ice. Sorry, I'm a stupid American, so I don't convert to metric that well, but feet. It's pretty cool. No pun intended on that, but it's pretty cool the way they show that. I'm quite curious to know how they get the camera under the water to do that. I'm pretty sure it's not CGI either, but in any case, they show that, and they also show what happens when tractor trailers submerge underwater and they effectively get destroyed. Not without a few people with tow trucks to come out of the water if they're partially underwater. But luckily, not that happened to our cast of characters, which I do have a favorite with Alex Zablocki, because he was a guy who was a very tough worker who get with his truck and went through the engine of the tractor trailer very nicely. And he was also a man of religion, a man of faith. So he was very, very good, very positive in what he did, even though the weather were very unforgiving. Also, I liked the bear, the big guy and the big boss of the company, which I believe that he employed Alex too. I don't know if they actually he employed anybody else, but he employed somebody. And also, it was kind of funny the way this guy bear would grab on the ice on the lakes and stuff, very cautious and everything, going at a certain speed limit, I think 30 miles an hour or something like that. And when you get over to the ocean side, and you see people going full tilt on the ice highway. So whenever he would do that, he would say, "You gotta be cautious. You gotta be careful. All that stuff. You can't go full throttle on the road. Otherwise, that'd be dangerous." Until I figured out until I found out the ice water on the ocean is much safer to go past in the middle on there, because many times the people there need their cargo chopped off ASAP. One case in point was that one of the drivers, a rookie guy, who likes to bring heavy loads and wide loads to to wherever they need to go, because he likes to pay out of it and likes to be careful with it. So he had to deliver. I think one time he had to bring a piece of an oil rig over to somewhere off the coast of Canada or something like that, on the ocean. So he had to do it very carefully. He had to load everything up himself. Of course, not with the crane or not with the dozer or anything, but he had to make sure everything went tied down properly and chained up properly, and the wheels were tied up properly, and put chains on the tires and all that. So it was a lot of heavy work by him. But then when he got it, when he delivered it, everyone was all happy and all cheering and all clapping. Everything was very good. Job well done. And these people, they do a very good job. And they do a very hard day's work. And they even sleep in their vehicles too, which is nice. I always love the whole customization aspect of tractors and semis and all that. They can sleep in the car itself, make a nice little bug bed in the back with TV and a microwave in the bathroom there. So yeah, it's pretty nice. It's pretty appealing to me. And of course, they got the winterization process, which they put a tarp or something on the front of the car to insulate the radiator. They put chains on the tires. They give it with the oil. They give it with the gas, and they seal all the inner working of the car too, of the truck too, so that it can function in the harsh winter climate. And I don't remember if there was much breakdown and whatnot, but I do remember this one person always getting it broke down like every 5 trips or so, but always break down if that. So yeah. Me personally, I prefer the long-nosed cat. The long-nosed, the ones with the internet from the cat. Because I don't think they look like seats and they're more practical too for the American road. The ones that have the cab over design are more of a European type thing. So there's that too. And there's only one person I think with a cab over design. And no, it's not named the Highway Cat or anything. But let's see, well, it's very good, especially when they deliver the cargo. And I like the way they always have varying degrees of cargo. Got heavy machinery, of course. They got pieces of oil rigs. They got pieces of like parts of the housing units. I believe that one time they had an actual house there that some guy was delivering to somebody else. And of course they have food deliveries, massive food deliveries. I believe that they had furniture at one point. They had a whole big thing of who will take this delivery, and then they check it off, and then they send them out with that delivery. Like everything else. Who will take this delivery at this price? And then they got to take out the gas, the food, the tolls, everything else. I don't know if they have Easy Pass or not, but they do have gas and tolls. And gas and food. As usual, you can imagine it would have truck stops food too. But yeah, I don't want to go there. One time I remember I went to Florida. We went to a tavern, McKinter's Tavern actually. McKinter's tavern. And the people when I was there, they gave out little sample cups of the macarons out there, and I ate it. And the next day, no joke it, every hour on the hour I used the rest stops. So that probably was my idea. Something didn't agree with me on that. But yeah. I remember there was one season in which they took this competition type of thing to the jungles of, say, Peru or Ecuador in South America. Very different environment than they used to in the near polar express type environment of northern Canada or central Canada. And that was just pretty stupid. That was like they were trying to do like a fish out water thing, trying to make the formula a little different, from the actual truckers and stuff. But it just came off as being very desperate and very stupid. I mean, I don't blame the individual truckers for this, but I just blame the whole people that wrote it into the script and whatnot. Hey, let's have an idea. Let's make it different. Let's change it up a little bit. Let's go South America for it. Let's deal with some heavy loads on some narrow roads on some really thin mountains. The Northern Mountains over there. And I remember there was a movie that did that one too, where they looked over the edge and they were like, oh god damn. Oh yeah, it was The Long Killer with Lucy and Vicky Ricardo, where they did that. So I think it was kind of dumb for them to do that. To these Arctic guys and put them in South America. I mean, it was still trucking, but it was kind of stupid. I hear that in the years that they made the show, they also made a movie. And then a sequel to that movie called Ace Road. Now, I would tell my aunt that when she watched the show, that when she watched the movie, she said it was real good. I told her that it's not like the show. And then I watched it for myself one day. I said, this isn't like the show. This is the show. All you gotta do is just put Liam Neeson and one of the Travis. They do everything. You can do the part where they show the underside of the truck when it's going over ice. It's like this show is a carbon copy of the show. But the only thing that they had to do was drama in there, because apparently driving over ice isn't dramatic enough for Hollywood, so they put up a gunfight in there on a big rig road and all that other stuff too. So yeah, there was that too. And let's see, yeah, I didn't really like the movie that much, but Liam Neeson is always good in everything. So there was that. So I would say that this show was actually pretty good, because it showed people actually doing business. They made a game out of it, but they was still delivering like mail, with old Congo, with delivering medicine, they were delivering structures to important things. All temporary though. They had to ship it, and they shipped it all the way back, which is something nice. I actually like to see all the stuff getting put together, the little kind of mini getting put together as well. All the I'm trying to think what they call it. The prefabricated buildings and whatnot. They were actually pretty cool to see put more together in fast motion. And I'm sure that the truckers had a sense of pride that, besides delivering whatever they had to deliver, seeing all the joy, all the happiness that they knew that doing their job brought to people. Someone to look up to. Funny story. Before we were born, my father and mother went driving around once, and they went to a truck stop once, and my mother was busy asking the truckers questions about stuff, about the trucks and vehicles and things. My dad said, no, come here, Mary. They think you're offering sex. But, okay, yeah. Because I so totally believe that you would be spacey to that kind of thing. That they'll only be nice to you because they think you're offering them something else that you don't want to give them. So I believe that. Oh boy, Joe, they're being very nice to me. I said, yeah. He said, yeah. That's because they think you're a prostitute. No wonder they grew up really nice to be to women. But anyway, I find it should be fascinating. And the thing is that I know that every trucker has that weapon on hand. Prevent anything from like the Fast and Furious to come up. With marauders or thieves come up on the driver and stuff and trying to steal the vehicle or cargo. But they never had to use them. And it was like kind of nice to see that maybe it was because of the TV crew that they were protected from thievery and stuff. But it was like real funny to see that. Also, for the same matter, when they need help, when they need it, and SOS has something to go out, they never actually the people who were in the passenger seat, the film crew and stuff, you didn't lend a hand. But I'm sure that if in the case of a real emergency where they would both die or they would both starve to death or whatever, that they would offer aid or phone calls or whatever to 911 or wherever the Canadian equivalent is. And I'm not gonna go into the AAA joke that they made in the guy because that thing went on way too long for my taste. And luckily they don't actually show these people drunk because that would be very, very hard to swallow. Being that there's supposed to be these people delivering life-saving medicine or food or mail or whatever to their respective villages, towns, or whatever they have to. So it'd be pretty bad to see him drinking on the job, especially driving a 20-ton vehicle on ice, no less. Like Sonic the Hedgehog. And it's always awesome. Movie is average. The season where they go to Peru is crap. I mean, they use their own big rigs. And I like the way they told the system about them. Like that. Not only the one that owned the trucks for like the Big Bear competition and the Big Bear uh, type of company, and that they just like I don't know right where it leads me, but they borrowed the trucks from this guy so that they could get the cargo out of the distribution center in Yellowknife. So we like it really nice. And what's really nice that there's like a sense of camaraderie among truckers, that if someone to pull over on the icy road or on the bank of a lake or whatever, that they can always count on someone else that's got a healthy truck to come over and help and give them a boost or give them a toolkit or something that they don't have themselves. So that's kind of nice to see that. The opposite of Lizardtail in the game 18-wheeler American Pro Trucker. But yeah, I enjoyed that show a lot. I watched the other season of it, and I thought that when I saw the show for Outback Truckers, I thought it was something related to it. But nah, it's something different in Australia. So I might cover that adventure too, if you guys want to do it. But I did this for and thank you for watching my video discussion about the TV show Ice Road Trucker. It's a very fun show, a very cool show. It's very much intended that fun. Because I like trucking, and it's cold outside, so I figure it's perfect for now. My favorite guy is Austin Korsky. In fact, I got him on Twitter once, but he was busy. And I think that they take some of the off whenever they can't deliver the cargo in the winter time when the ice is thick. Because when the spring happens, everything melts there. So the thinning ice can't support the weight of the heavy trucks, even on the ocean. So at a certain time, the officials go out and measure the thickness of the ice and say, that's no go. Thou shall not pass. And yeah, I enjoy doing this. This is a repeat from when I originally posted it, but it got raised. But it was fun to talk about it again. And as such, I give my happy face to the approval. I know this is a joke, but I remember that a few people, including one woman over there, one woman driver, actually did her driving, and so did the bear guy with sunglasses on to prevent some snow blindness from affecting the driving field. That being the effect of sunlight coming off snow and then making a bright white light for those people. So also another thing that I like in this show is that they have very interesting way of putting the snow on the lakes and stuff to make a perfect roadway for these ice road truckers to drive on. Going from the bank down to the surface, covered in ice, of course, and then they go on the ice, and they come back up the other bank. It's very fun to do that. Very good for bargaining. They'll also show like other cars go on the ice, but very few people dare to take their pickup trucks on the ice, except for say like a official warning vehicle or a police vehicle or whatever caught official stuff. So yeah, if you like what you see here and want to see more of my videos and stuff, you always like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel. You can also get me you can also contact me for future information on my videos by calling me or texting me at 631-707-3707. Calling me or texting me, and I can follow me on Twitter or X if you prefer, call that at PNelsonPro. And my email is jjsviewingchannel@gmail.com. So as anybody that is bold enough to go on the ice roads and make deliveries on time, you're far braver than I am. And peace out, my brothers and sisters. I'll see you in the next video. For you girls and guys in Ancient Land. Sayonara. And that being said,